There's a thread on Reef to Reef whereby someone has done what I would describe as a scientific study. And you might say it's a series of experiments, but whatever it is, someone's looked into this to find out what is in Vibrant. And they've also looked to see, to compare it to another product by a company called API, who you no doubt will have heard of, especially if you're in the freshwater world, called Algae Fix. And the conclusions are, and these are not my conclusions, I want to stress very clearly, they're the conclusions of this article, and this is my understanding of what it says. It's a little bit sciencey, but I've read it in detail and I'm pretty sure I'm getting it right. The conclusions are, there is no bacteria in it. And if I'm reading it correctly, also no vinegar and no aspartic acid. So basically everything that they say is in it, according to this article on Reef to Reef, is not in it. Second conclusion is it contains an algicide, or it contains algicides called polyxetonium chloride and busan 77. Busan 77 has a listed function on a website that I found via Reef to Reef as a molluscicide. And that's worth bearing in mind because clams are mollusks, which of course some of us keep in our tanks. And number three, it is essentially the same as the freshwater product Algae Fix by API. And you might be thinking, well, so this is a product that sells itself as killing algae, and it's got an algicide in it that kills algae. What's the big whoop? Does that really matter? Yes, it does. It really matters. And there are a number of reasons why. I've kind of listed 5 reasons that I think are the main things that this matters. Firstly, it says that it's bacteria, but actually it's not. It's an algicide. And that means that when you're buying it, you can't weigh up the risk that you're taking to your tank. If you're deciding whether or not you want to put something in your tank, you want to know what's in it. This tells you something else. It doesn't tell you correctly what's in it. All photosynthetic corals as well contain symbiotic algae. So algae is within the flesh of corals. It's how they get their food from light photosynthesis. So if you're dosing too much of this or using it wrong, or even if you're using it right, it's an algicide that's meant to kill algae. What's to say it's going to kill the nasty algae and leave the good algae? Number 2, it is the same stuff as, more or less, from what this study has said, it's the same stuff as API Algae Fix, but it's a lot more expensive. So in the UK, an 8-ounce bottle of API Algae Fix is £9. The same size bottle of Vibrant is £35. And as far as this study has shown, it is exactly the same stuff. Number 3 then, and this is where we get into kind of the main issues. So the company behind this, they're called Underwater Creatures, I think UWC. They appear to be lying about what's in the product. Now I say appear to be for 2 reasons. One, because it's this study that's been released that's making these allegations that they haven't responded to yet, as far as I can tell. And 2, because I think I'm right in saying, and I've found from themselves, that they've teamed up with a bunch of scientists to make this product. So I think that UWC doesn't actually make it, they effectively outsource it. So it might be that actually they don't know what's in it. They've been told by a bunch of scientists, maybe they've been misled, maybe they didn't understand, I don't know. But whatever way you slice it, it feels like we're being lied to, or at least misled as to what's in this product. The 4th issue then, and why this is a problem, is because they have said it is not an algicide. And I will now bring up a screen. The beautiful thing is, and this is how does it work? The beautiful thing is, this is not some crazy algicide that just leaves a bomb of nutrients in your tank as the algae die, leading you on a downward spiral after blah, blah, blah. So they have said, expressly stated, that it is not an algicide. And actually, I saw another thread where they'd said another time, a separate occasion, this dates back to 2016, I believe, by the way. But I saw another thread also from 2016, yes, 27th of October 2016. I saw another thread from 2016 where they'd said the same thing, this is not an algicide. So it's not just that they haven't been, ostensibly haven't been honest about what's in the product and labeled the bottle correctly. They've actually outwardly said it is not an algicide, whereas this study seems to suggest it is. Now, I am always interested in balance on this channel. I'm going to take a quick sip of my drink. Let's present the points in mitigation. I think the key things are that it's not like this is a brand new product. Okay, so if this was a brand new product that had just come out, and this guy, Tarincho, I think he's called on Reef to Reef, had released this study, found out what it was, and told everybody you need to stop using this before your corals die and your fish die and all this sort of stuff, that would be a big deal. But it's not the case. This product has been around for years, despite the website saying it's a new product. Guess they need to update it. It's been around for years, and plenty of people have used it with success. Number two, the product that it is being compared to on this article, API Algae Fix, whilst I've said that this, what was it, Buson 77 or whatever it was, as a molluscicide, i.e. it kills mollusks like clams, scallops and all those sorts of things. Whilst I've said that, the bottle of Algae Fix, and this is Algae Fix Marine, so I'm not 100% sure if it's the same one, but this says, will not harm marine fish, corals, or other invertebrates. And my understanding, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but my understanding is that regardless of whether you use the marine stuff or the freshwater stuff, I believe that API say API Algae Fix is safe for marine aquariums. And that would make sense because it would back up the fact that plenty of other people have had success with Vibrant. And finally, the third thing I want to say in mitigation, and this is why I said at the very start of the video that this is not old news, and if anything, this video is premature, is because this came out 2.5 weeks ago. In that time, there has been a very brief statement after, I think, something like a week or something like that, from the creators of Vibrant, and they just said, look, we've seen the allegations. I think they said they're sending it off to the lab to do their own tests. They'll get back to us as soon as they can. I think they were hoping to have heard back by the end of this week. I don't think I haven't seen any response from them, so maybe we'll hear next week. But this is why I say this video is not old news, because you've only had one side of the story. And until the company has had a chance to defend itself and explain what's happened, you can't draw any real conclusions, is my opinion anyway.